is Misha Parkinson, and you are not ready for this. If you understand that reference, you're a legend, and you're old. Roll the intro. Welcome to the Trekking News of July 2025. I'm your host, Misha Parkinson, and I will be talking to you about the most saucy trekking news that I could find in the month of July. So, first up, in the breaking news, we have an unexpected win from trekking legend Tikoya Oceangunner Wu, otherwise known as Tiki Wu. Tiki Wu has managed to win his first major international competition for maybe a year or two perhaps, against an unexpected matchup with Fuju from Japan. Huge congratulations to Tiki Wu for winning Loop Kicks 2025. This is a big achievement for any trekker because it is one of the most recognizable trekking events around the world. His win shows that it is still anyone's game in terms of trekking battles, and also his win signifies that style is more important than power. This leads me on to the next discussion topic regarding Tiki's win, is that there was actually a little bit of controversy surrounding his win. This is because in the final round against Fuju, there was a little bit of debate as to whether Tiki should have taken the round or not. Fuju opened up with a touchdown rise into a snatch cannon, aka a cork in back out, and managed to pop flash out of it and comboed into a double cork. Whereas Tiki responded with a far more intricate combo that showed more variation of tricking and its complexity, finishing it off with a dub-dub, a much stronger finisher than Fuju's finisher of a double cork. Now, there was debate amongst the community as well as some of the judges, well, one of the judges, as to whether Tiki should have taken the win or not. Now, I'm not going to provide my opinion as to whether Tiki should have won or whether Fuju should have won. I don't really feel particularly qualified to comment on this. However, I will provide commentary on this one other area that maybe not too many people are thinking about at the moment. When it comes to major events like Loop Kicks or Vertigo or Hooked or any other major trekking event, there needs to be a particular judging criteria that athletes and judges are aware of. This is important because as trekking battles become more professional and as trekking battles have higher and higher stakes where more money is involved, which means that athletes may have to train harder, this money could pay for their rent, this money could pay for their living, this money could pay for their trekking. There probably needs to be a little bit more of a discussion going on about what the standards are for judging, as well as what the standards are for trekkers when they try to impress the judges. Now, funny enough, as I talk about this, Vertigo has actually released a video already for their event on what their judging criteria will be, and they have given it a little bit of a ranking system. I'm not going to discuss that, but I will leave the links for it below so that you can go and check it out. I do think that more events need to have these sorts of discussions, because this is going to lead to more transparency in what the judges are looking for and what the particular battler needs to do in order to win the event competition. Nonetheless, this decision of Tiki winning, personally, even though I don't really know which way it should have swung, it is cool to see Tiki win this because this is an era of trekking that is truly incredible, and for someone like Tiki to win sets a precedent that style is more important than power, which personally I think that's kind of cool. On to the next bit of breaking news, and this one here I'm actually really happy with, and this is the rise of more long-form trekking media on YouTube. We really need that. In the age of where the reel killed the YouTube star, we are entering this golden age of trekking media, and July showed us that there are a lot of channels willing to actually produce this kind of media. There have been an increase in trekking video essays, which I absolutely love. For instance, Vertigo released a trekking video essay on the dragon kick from Karate Kid. This video essay is a really good way for people that don't know what tricking is to actually find out what tricking is. It has that kind of little viral bit of potential. And if they don't know what tricking is and they're like, wow, this is cool, and people actually do this, it's not just in the movies, blah, 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 they might actually end up deciding to join tricking themselves. Other examples of more long-form tricking media that I have recently watched in July is the video from GV Tricking on the Zen versus Kaige matchup and the build-up. This was excellent, really, really well done. Please go and watch it. Also, Vertigo, again, shout out Vertigo. You guys are just the goats at the moment. And to be honest, just not even at the moment, you guys are just the goats. They also released a video on what counts as a flip. This is also another video essay where Kojo responded to the video as well. So you should go and check out Kojo's response too. It's very, very interesting to see what actually counts as a flip. Adding on to the whole tricking long form media increase in July, there was a poll done by my friend Vinny from Australia. This poll asked his followers as to whether they preferred viewing short form versus long form tricking content. Now, this brought out the boomer in me because, well, kids these days, you know, they're all just trick talkers. This is a trick talker era, and I'm concerned because I don't feel particularly motivated when I watch a short to go outside and trick. Like, I think it's really cool. I don't think it's gonna motivate me to go outside or go train at the session. What tricking needs is more long form content for the trickers themselves to actually get them hyped up and motivated and ready for the session like it always has been. Yes, tricking will still benefit from short form content, but it shouldn't be the sole source that gets people inspired to get into tricking and to get outside and do tricks. And long form content is also going to be significantly better at getting non-trickers to watch tricking and then get inspired to try it out, which is going to build up our community more. And to those of you trick talkers, okay, with the attention spans of goldfish that voted on Vinny's poll saying that you would rather watch short form tricking content, okay, this message goes out to you. You're probably not watching this because you don't actually have the attention span to watch this, but you know what? I'm going to rant about it anyway. Go and watch some long form tricking content. Go watch some samplers. Go outside. Go touch grass. Go, I can't deal with this anymore. The Tricking News is proudly sponsored by our sponsor today, Axilia Tricking. Go and subscribe. Now, on to the next segment where we are going to discuss, I am going to discuss the notable gatherings of July. The first gathering I'm going to talk about that happened in July was Flip the Island Gathering, FTIG, hosted by White Tricks Academy. Congratulations to White Tricks Academy for hosting an incredibly successful event. In this gathering, the students from White Tricks Academy battled each other as well as any of the attendees and the guests that also went to this event. There were multiple divisions, which was really cool to see, with a lot of really passionate trickers putting their hearts out onto the floor and battling. I'm just going to read out a quote that I saw on one of their Instagram posts regarding how the event went. These weren't just divisions, they were rites of passage. Courage met craft and young warriors stepped into the fire. What a freaking insanely powerful quote. Like, that is so cool. As someone who also runs a tricking guild, yes, Axilia is a tricking guild, not a club, not an academy, not a sports team, a guild. I genuinely thought that this quote was extremely inspiring and uplifting and motivating, because this is exactly what I want to see from my students as well. And I am sure that any Tricking Academy instructor will also want to see the same thing from their students. This is tricking at a whole new level of internal competition. Tricking academies, clubs, sports teams, guilds, all around the world take note from White Tricks and get inspired by what they have just accomplished. Now, the next notable tricking gathering that I'm going to talk about is Loop Kicks. Now, I know I have already talked about Loop Kicks, but I only talked about the win of Tiki Wu and a little bit of judging controversy that occurred there. I did not talk about the event as a whole, so I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the things that I found really cool about Loop Kicks. One of the other things I wanted to talk about Loop Kicks was the under 17 youth division. Dylan ended up winning the youth division in an intense five-round tricking battle against his opponent. Congratulations to Dylan Berry on the win. The other thing I also wanted to talk about Loop Kicks was they had a Loop Kicks team demonstration. I thought this demonstration was epic because not only would trickers be able to appreciate this, but I think if tricking wanted to expose itself a little bit more, it should do performances like the Loop Kicks demonstration to the public. I actually think that'll be a really cool way to entice people to get into tricking. The other thing I wanted to mention briefly, now I haven't seen too much footage of this yet, I'm sure it'll come out, but this is the games of trick between Haruki and Kage. I want to see the full thing on that, I can't wait. And the other game of trick between Taka and Tiki. I look forward to seeing more footage on that. Overall, Loop Kicks looked like a fantastic event, and I really want to go to Loop Kicks one year in the future. Now, the last gathering I want to talk about was the Bake Shop gathering, which occurred in Michigan, the United States, from the 4th to the 6th of July. Now, this gathering did occur during the American holiday, which leads me to assume it must have been an extremely patriotic gathering with a lot of eagles and fireworks and American pie. Okay, no, just kidding. I'll take away the stereotypes. I'm sure it was a extremely wholesome event. And if the name of the gathering suggests anything, Bake Shop, I expect there to be maybe a little bit of baking. And I think that there was a little bit of baking, seeing as they advertised that they were selling some on their social medias. Nice! The gathering had a good list of guests, ranging from your classic big trick senders all the way down to your more low-key but recognition-deserving tricking talent. It's definitely a fun-looking event that I want to go to one day, run by some very passionate trickers, which shows, and I hope that they continue to do these events further into the future. You should go to the Bake Shop gathering, if you're cool, that is. Oh, now in this segment, I get to fanboy over some samplers that I got to watch over the month of July. The first sampler I'm going to talk about is by a tricker from, I think, France, called Theo Gonzalez, and this sampler is called Dope. Now, if the name of the sampler suggests anything to go off by, it is actually in fact incredibly dope. It starts off with some incredibly unique shots taken from the outside, looking in, of Theo doing some tricks inside. And then it builds up to some more outdoor grass clips, followed by an outdoor floor clips, by the way, really jealous. And then it builds up to some gathering and event clips. Please go and give this one a view. It is actually really cool. Theo's style is one of a kind, and his whack knife variations will leave you with your jaw dropped. Dope by Theo Gonzalez. Give it a view. The next sampler I'm going to talk about is called Prologue by a tricker called Ash. I absolutely loved the energy that this man put into his tricks, and also his swing setups into triple corks were incredibly powerful. It looks like Ash trains mostly around the Loop Kicks SoCal area, so it's no surprise that he is actually this good. And I really look forward to seeing what else Ash provides in this future, because this sampler is titled Prologue, which means that it's only the beginning for this young man. The next sampler I'm going to talk about is called Rebellious by a tricker that is highly underrated from the United States, Michael Barrett. Now, this sampler shows exactly why he is underrated, because he is extremely good, and I've only really started to notice this man over the last month or so. His power level is completely off the charts, where he is doing some incredibly insane triple cork combos, and also he is comboing into quad full. I remember the first time I saw someone combo into quad full, and I think it was Michael Guthrie, and at the time I thought, yeah, no, this is peak. Like, it's not going to get any better than this. It just can't. And I'm very glad that I'm wrong about that, because there are other trickers that are comboing into quad full, and that makes me happy to see. Go and watch Michael Theron's sampler Rebellious, because that is what we trickers are. We are constantly rebelling against the force of gravity. Now, in this segment, I'm going to be talking about the good sorts. Now, these are trickers and people that are doing really good things for the tricking community. I am so impressed with Haruki's performance at Loop Kicks. Firstly, he came fourth, which I really wanted him to be placed somewhere in that bracket, but I didn't actually think he was going to be. He did an insanely clean combo. We did a cheat 12, hook, touchdown rise, shuriken into a snafu twist. Oh! It looked like Haruki threw down really well for the entire event and battled really well. In my opinion, even though I wasn't there, I'm going to give Haruki the title of MVP of Loop Kicks. Now, forgive me, okay? I said in the last tricking news that I was being patriotic because I talked about a tricker called Kimball from New Zealand. And guess what? I'm going to be patriotic again. I don't care. You make your own tricking news, alright? I'm going to be talking about another tricker from New Zealand called Aaron Van Eyck. Now, Aaron recently done a round off double Arabian scissor, comboed out of it. I think it was a front sweep, I think, and then he did it into a triple full. Now, this might just be a world's first type combo. So, yeah, let's go New Zealand. Let's go, finally! And I'm gonna quickly shout out Kimball again because he did another world's first type combo where he did a double leg and comboed out of that into a triple full as well, which I actually got to see with my own eyes. Big well done to Aaron because he is now officially an international guest going to the Red Panda and the Sydney Tricking Gatherings over in Australia, so I'm hyped for that. The last tricker that I'm going to talk about in the good sorts is one of my favorites, is Damon Exahos. Now, my boy Damon here is just constantly pushing his level, and he has been invited to be a guest at Vertigo. Whoa! Let's go, Australia. I'm so hyped for you, Damon. Like, you worked really hard for that. I know you did. And it's so cool to see you having your first international debut at a major event, okay, in America. Thank you to Vertigo for agreeing to fly Damon out to your event, because I honestly think it's a great decision. He was at NZTG this year, and Damon was the life of the party there, and honestly, he will not disappoint you at Vertigo. Damon, best of luck, pal. In this segment, I will be giving you the gathering forecast of August 2025. The first gathering that I'm going to be talking about is Ikigai. Ikigai gathering is held from the 8th to the 10th of August in Belgium. There are people outside. Sorry about that, I had to go answer the door. That was my tricking students. They wanted to go train on my tramp. Actually, I might give them a little bit of a surprise and ask them if they want to be on the tricking news. Do a bit of training with them. Yo, do you guys want to be in my YouTube vid?
Sure.
I'm filming one like right now.
I can do a double backflip.
What?
1, 2, 3.
What? Okay. Wow. Okay, stomped. Whoa. 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 Yeah, bro, let's go. Hey.
I want to try.
Okay, I wasn't expecting the double back from Vin, but hype stuff. Anyways, back to the tricking news. Oh, Misha here. Sorry, yeah, I'm not going to talk about the gathering forecast of August because the gatherings that I did talk about when I filmed the tricking news for July have all happened. So I just don't see the point. But what I will do is I will talk about those gatherings in the tricking news of August. Okay. So yeah, soz guys, my bad. Next time I won't leave it for like 3 weeks to release the tricking views. I'm sorry, I just got kind of busy with life stuff. So please forgive me, but I'll do better with August, okay? So and that is all for the tricking news of July 2025. I am your host, Misha Parkinson, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Until next time.